apologies.
Oh,
I
you're
was
good.
confusing the 77 code. I was gonna say 864 in route 1077, but it's actually 1076. So I was just discussing with David about that to make sure I get the 10 code correct.
Got it. Okay. You did call out 27. Barrick and I both noted that. We sat there and we were like, 27. What the heck is that? You're good. At the end of the day, 10 codes are, like I've said this before, and I'll always say it. Whether it be street knowledge and just knowledge behind street names, 10 codes, general radio communications, there's going to be lots of trial and error. You are going to make many mistakes. The most experienced officers often confuse left with right in pursuits. You're going to notice this. I make the mistake. Everybody makes the mistake. Nobody's perfect. It's going to happen. It's going to happen far more frequently with cadets, and we'll point it out when it happens. That way you can sort of, moving forward, self-correct. But don't beat yourself up. At the end of the day, you said 27. You meant to say 76 because that would have been the correct one.
Oh, I thought I said 77.
No,
My apologies, came out as 27.
I heard 27. So 77 was the request that was put in, which is backup. So put it this way. 78, your ears should perk up like the moment. You ever see a dog whose ears perk up the moment you say, want to go for a walk?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You hear 78s, that is that moment, right? That is all hands on deck. An officer is either, stabbed, about to get stabbed, shot, whatever. 77s is still a request for backup, but not an emergency. So 78s is like, you should absolutely know that, and just sort of work backwards from there. You'll get to 77 for just a normal backup request, and you're good. And then right behind that is 76, which is en route. So they're all sort of consolidated next to each other. 76 en route, 77 backup request, 78 emergency backup. Hopefully that makes that easier to remember, but again, going to come with time and repetition, so don't beat yourself up over it. The next thing was the primary vehicle conducting the high-risk stop. I'm not sure if there was some movement, and I only had noticed or paid attention once I was in cuffs and back by the vehicle. But y'all want to try to ensure that your doors remain open, so that y'all have some form of cover in the event where something happens.
That
The
was
doors.
one question I was going to ask.
Yep.
I'm unsure how to do that.
They can be finicky. They can. Oftentimes, you just want to approach it, swing them open as if you're about to get in, and just sort of hold them while they're there in position in between the car and the door. The last thing was, actually two things. Number one, when I was read my rights, there's a very specific thing that was not mentioned that absolutely needs to be mentioned, which is if available. That is correct. You want to hit on that, because if you don't state that, right, the individual is going to be like, well, you told me I'm going to get one, and you made no sort of mention of, if they're available. So just make sure that you do mention that they will be provided an attorney if available, because if they're not, we can't snap our fingers and make one appear. And then the last thing, we didn't necessarily want to go too far into like the actual like in-depth, determination of like wrongdoing here, though. I was taken out of cuffs prior to the officers who put me in cuffs speaking to the others. Remember what we went over yesterday regarding it doesn't matter if it takes time, right? An investigation is an investigation. Although I'm telling you things, right, it doesn't mean that the other person that other officers are questioning didn't provide additional information to make me seem like the bad guy. Do you want to speak with the other officers involved prior to releasing people from cuffs who are detained?
Absolutely.
That's it. Outside of that, I mean, it was solid. It was solid. All right.
Okay. All right. That's gonna conclude this portion, and now we're gonna head up into Sandy at the into the sheriff's office, and we'll continue from there.
Ooh, an hour and a half of pursuits.
Yep.
Nice.
Hey, Larry, where's Larry?
You guys, did you do high risk stops with them or no?
Yeah.
you want
Yeah,
us
we
to scan
did.
this video the fact that you
No.
Okay. I mean, I'm assuming we can during pursuits, right? So.
Yeah, sure.
Always gotta make sure to lock your car down.
Wait, why'd you say it like that?
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was
I'm just tired.
Yeah,
Listen,
sure.
I've
Yeah,
slept
sure,
like.
fucking idiot. That's what I heard. That's what I took from that. You're mad about this.
I'm just gonna repeat what I said before. I look damn good in this.
Get out of here. All right, let's go.
All right, everyone over to Sandy. That's not a street. There we go. I mean, I think a lot of the mistakes that are happening now are, one, relatively minor, and two, just a result of nerves and inexperience. But overall,
Without question,
there's no, like, I know I sort of jokingly say, Crikey, for example, you know, is not necessarily going to be problematic, but like, I feel like might be a little.
Would you like to have the lights on stuff like that or no?
Yeah, we'll head to Sandy code 2.
Make sure to check the fuel of the vehicles, in case they need fuel.
Yeah, we can refuel when we get to Sandy.
What was I saying? Oh, Crikey, you know, sometimes doing like something silly or whatever. But like nothing is like stand out as like very problematic throughout any of this, which I think is very promising.
Yeah, and that was like Turner's one stipulation that, like, if like we can offer them all jobs as long as somebody's not like a standout like,
Bozo.
problem case. Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm so bothered by this being at the very top end of this stupid gear. All right, we're all gonna head over to the gas station on the southeastern side of Sandy. Want to make something very clear. All right, these gas pumps could potentially explode. And so my request is that if you are moving into the gas station, which most people should be to refuel, make sure you are positioning yourself to pull in a straight line way ahead of time. So if you see where my vehicle's positioned, you need to be straight here and then go in so that there's no issue whatsoever with people seeing things a certain way. Why the car look like dark gray, silver, chrome?
I don't know.
Yeah, big true. Actually true.
It's Frost too.
Go back on to
That's
channel
you,
8.
Jimmy.
Yeah,
Not
everybody
all
should
of us on
transition back to channel 8.
I had all of us from
Support.
channel 8 come to channel 9, so everyone should be on this channel.
We're all on 9 now.
Okay, I guess we're all on 9.
What do you mean?
All on 9, okay.
What? You guys
Also,
are
make
just
sure
all
when you're
absolutely
refueling the
swapped.
cars off.
It would be fun if we did smash into the gas tank.
Alderton, thank you so much for the tier 2 for 39 months. I appreciate it.
I can feel
Ready
you.
to check?
10-2.
10-2.
10-2.
And 10 4.
Barrack, are you back on 9?
Once we get to the location that we're going to start pursuits, if you need
Yeah, I'm on
to
9.
take a quick
All right.
restroom break or anything, or if you need food, just let us know. Try to get through and have as much time to focus on pursuits as we can.
got a repair kit on you, David?
Yes, sir.
Usually, I'm gonna hop out. I'm gonna go think about using the bathroom.
I like how there's a front light bar thing. Only turns on when you have like all the additional lights on.
I'm just going to go to the washroom.
Ugh, smoking.
What is?
You are smoking a cigarette.
No, I'm not. It's practically
He's
a pick at this
sucking.
point.
He's
Ugh.
just sucking.
Any of you guys need food or anything? Any food? Any fooders?
What do you
Barrick,
you
I
need-
have to ask.
Yeah.
When you
Mhm.
whistle, okay, don't laugh when I ask this.
Okay.
When you whistle, do you suck or blow?
Then if you use the restroom or
Great
anything,
question.
the restroom to come. Same with you guys. You
Definitely
guys need
suck,
any food, drink,
I think.
restroom break?
Same.
Yeah.
Yep, same. What about you, Sky?
I'm feeling so much better.
Oh, I blow.
Same.
I do both,
Any food, Judas? Any food?
but it's not as good.
Restroom?
I'm good. I'm good.
Wait.
Well,
No,
Drink, restroom, you guys good?
okay.
Good for now, thank
You started laughing before we did.
Well, no, it's because I realized how that'd be perceived. All right. So truthfully, when I'm whistling, I can do it flawlessly sucking, but blowing is a different ball game.
Alright, so you drive first. I do call outs.
Yeah, that works.
What about you, Alice? When you whistle, do you suck or blow?
Hello? Hello?
No, I can do both, but
You suck. Well,
what?
whistling.
Did you say how?
Yeah.
Similar to blowing, but you suck.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I don't know. I almost got lightheaded
Hold
trying
on.
to do that.
David,
Sir, yes, sir.
when you whistle, do you suck or blow?
When I whistle, I blow.
Okay. Larry,
I blow as well when I whistle.
Frost,
Blow? How do you suck and whistle? That
what do you
doesn't make
mean?
sense.
You,
Just
That's
how
why
does that not
blow.
make sense?
How do you suck a whistle?
Oh. Okay. Think about what you're doing with your mouth when you blow. You could literally do it in the opposite direction.
It just makes me like roll my tongue.
The air's
Huh?
going into my body.
Okay,
That
I
doesn't-
can do both, and it's similar. I just can't do it as successfully blowing as I can sucking.
Yeah, but when you blow, the air comes from inside, and the traffic airflow is different from when you suck. It's outside from in. So the position of the mouth and everything has to be different.
Well, do you whistle with your fingers or just your mouth?
Oh, just
Oh,
my
yeah.
mouth.
Just the
Oh
mouth.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't do the finger thing. Crikey, when you whistle, do you suck or blow?
Both, sir.
Both. Oh, we have another sucker and blower. This is great. Emily, what about you?
What was the?
When you whistle, do you suck or blow?
Sorry to interrupt. You guys have some training up here?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we're training to sniff
Talking
drugs.
about whistles. Oh,
I
shit.
guess
All right,
so.
all right.
Yeah.
You need your car filled on? No. Okay, never mind.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Mosley sells those.
So where did KJ? Oh, Is
Ooh.
JJ here?
I think they do.
Mosley sells those.
Emily, did you answer?
Blow, sir.
Okay.
Real quickly, let's move all the cars over to the sheriff's office because I don't know. All the lights are off, but it's creating like a fucking
Yeah, you're right.
traffic jam.
It was good.
I don't know which one I was in.
You're gonna have to. You guys are gonna have to park on the other side. Only so many spots on this side.
Where you at, Barrick?
Give him.
Yeah, I'm on the north side. I was just making sure the traffic jam resolved.
All right. How are we structuring this?
Probably one of us drive, the other three instruct. We have four, so we basically have like the sweet spot enough for one person to be parallel, and then primary, secondary, and tertiary. We kind of just have them each get a chance or crack at primary. I really want to hammer in the idea of just action, direction, location, action, direction, location, action, direction, location. Just
It's funny because I was about to say the same thing. I word it differently though.
Yeah.
I say turn, cardinal direction, street name. That's it.
yeah.
That's all I want to hear. Left, westbound power. Well,
Yeah.
southbound power. Power don't go west.
Yeah, that's why I advocated with Turner to come up here. And while we're gonna keep it to low speeds, like probably like 55-ish and below, it at least gets them to start getting their rhythm together with the street names and stuff like that.
I agree.
Which you
I think the
can't
street
really do.
names in Sandy are a bit iffy in the grand scheme of things. But before
Yeah,
we
those are
actually
good.
get into pursuits, can I mention the GPS street name, a sort of, upcoming intersection deal so that they have a general understanding of that? I feel
Oh, yeah,
that's
feel
super
free.
important.
Yeah, feel free,
Okay.
100%.
All right.
One of them is just gonna be left out without a like instructor, probably. Because one of us is just gonna have to drive, and we can take turns. As we'll have to go through 4 separate
All right.
occasions.
Whoever's driving, I will say this. The whole intent is to sort of get them into like solid repetition. So whoever it is, don't actually like send it.
Yeah, genuinely, honestly, keep it like 55 or below.
Yep, works for me.
862 radio check.
And 2.
Okay. I am running back from the gas station.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's not good. Who wants to drive first?
Sure, I'll do it. I'm a
Going
driver.
over like the book portion of pursuits, like going over everything.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Once that's
Well,
done, I think we get them into cars. When they're in there, they'll all be able to see the GPS, and we bring them to a nearby intersection. And just, I don't mind explaining the whole, GPS name, street name thing,
Let's,
and then we can do the
let's-
actual practical.
Let's aim to actually start like the pursuits at the hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do that.
So,
Easy.
all right,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So missing someone?
I
We're
believe
missing one.
Frost may have had a headache. May have had to take a nap.
They'll be fine. We could start.
Okay. Oh, is Heidi just checking over everyone? Alrighty.
Yeah, a few of the babies got boo-boos.
Oh,
Oh, y'all got boo-boos.
Yeah, we got
Alrighty.
boo-boos.
Oh my god, I almost got a big boo-boo right there.
oh, I saw Frost. I don't know if we're gonna see Frost.
Yeah, I saw him for a split second.
There he
It's
is.
fine. Alrighty. Pursuits. Kind of the bread and butter of police work, to be honest. But very, very important. Also a very dangerous portion of our job. When we're initiating a pursuit, we alert over dispatch, or we alert dispatch over radio that we are in an active pursuit. And then the most important things that you get out are the description of the vehicle, so make, model, and the color. If you don't know the make and model, then you describe it to the best of your abilities. And then the location and the direction of travel. So, for example, say we were chasing that car there. Dispatch active 80 with a silver in color pickup truck occupied 1 times, currently eastbound. What is this? Alham Drive. And then you continue comms. When you're initiating the pursuit, you also want to advise units responding of the weather and traffic conditions. So in this case, traffic's clear or traffic is light and weather is clear. In a pursuit, we have 4 different positions that units fill in. The first unit that is directly behind the car that is being chased is primary. Primary is responsible for maintaining visual contact with the suspect that we're chasing. They focus on driving and only provide important updates such as, say if a vehicle's stomping on their brakes, you can say that they're slowing. Or if you see
Terrible
them,
first answer.
throwing out a weapon, either pointing a weapon out of the window or just throwing something out the window, whether it may be, you can call that out as well. The second unit in a pursuit is called secondary. They are the main ones responsible for communication. They'll be the ones, calling out, right, northbound, left, westbound, those kind of things. Okay, sorry, I had to sneeze. The secondary basically does that, so the primary
I feel like I
can
hear
just focus
someone.
on driving and staying behind the suspect. If there are multiple people in primary, say they have, there's 2 people partnered up in there, then the primary vehicle can take over comms from secondary. The third vehicle in a pursuit is called tertiary. Tertiary follows the pursuit, fills in if, say, primary or secondary crashes out. And in the event, the suspect that's being chased is a little rat and going through tight alleyways and such like that, tertiary is to fall back into parallel and not to go through those alleyways and such. It just becomes one big traffic jam if you have 3 police cars trying to follow a suspect into an alleyway, especially if they're tight corners. So you break out of that alleyway, you parallel, try to find the outlet of where they're gonna end up. And then the last one, it would be parallel, the 4th unit. The parallel units, As the name describes, you run parallel with the pursuit. You try to predict where the suspect is going. You try to force the suspect's vehicle down certain roads, and also hopefully blocking off traffic. So it's less likely for any crashes to occur. And once spikes are authorized in a pursuit, parallel is typically the one trying to get those spikes. When we're in a pursuit, we always keep our lights and sirens on, and then while in a pursuit, if you crash out, your vehicle disables. Typically out 311. Hey, 122, I'm repairing.
Damn, I look
that
good.
lets the other units in the pursuit know that they can fall into the pursuit and take your position. And then typically you'll just fill in wherever you're needed. After that, typically back into parallel, depending on how the chase is going. And currently, if a pursuit becomes too dangerous because of the speed, or they're going into like highly populated areas and such like that, depending on the severity of the crime, we will break off. If somebody's just fleeing from a speeding ticket and they're driving, straight through Little Seoul going 130 miles an hour, it's a bit dangerous for a low-level crime. But say if they're fleeing a violent felony, then we chase that vehicle until the wheels are falling off. We don't give up. Comms in a pursuit are the single-handed most important part of the pursuit, even more important than your driving. I'm gonna be honest. We don't need people to always be, top tier drivers. As long as you can give top tier comms, I'm satisfied. What does that sound like? So, first of all, informing units that there's the active 1080 going on. So, in my case, dispatch 122 to active 1080 with a black and colored two-door southbound Elgin Avenue. And traffic is light, weather is clear. And depending on, you could say speed's 120, speed's 50, speed's 60, whatever it may be. From then on out, you'll likely have, a couple units respond on radio saying that they're attaching. Currently pursuits, depending on the severity, are locked to 3 units. So Slacks confused me yesterday. I believe it's 2 units on the car and then the third, unless it's a more severe crime, then it's 3 units on the car and 1 parallel. During the pursuit, it is action, direction, location. What does that mean? It means what turn are they taking? What cardinal direction are they going? And what street are they on? So in this case, say a car going east on Alhambra, and then they take a right. It'd be right, southbound Marina Drive. When you're doing your comms, it's very, 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 very important to call out if they're turning as soon as you see it. I don't care if you don't know the street name right away. I care if you call out the turns, especially if these pursuits are going into higher speeds. A fraction of a second means the difference in between a secondary or tertiary slamming into the back of you, or being able to slow down in time for the turn.
I will give an example on radio as to what is perfectly acceptable, right? Let's assume, we're heading down that road and I'm over here. They have a lot of distance and I'm unfamiliar with that road. Right, southbound Marina Drive. I mean, I probably wouldn't release my radio if I anticipate having that street name in a reasonable amount of time. but you do not have to have all the pieces of information at once. That street name, or not street name, that turn and cardinal direction for an experienced officer is all we need. I know in 90% of cases, especially if we're in the city, if someone made a left after they had just made a right onto Power, I know what every single left intersection could be. And I can gauge based on timing of the prior call, like where they are generally, even without the street name, which is why it's so important. You may not have the information, but the information you should have available immediately should be stated.
Yeah, very, very important to add.
What
Those
did you just
comms,
do? Thank you for the
we need
47
them
months.
to
I
be
appreciate it.
Very
Almost 4
clear
years.
and concise, so no filler words. If I hear "gonna be" in your pursuit comms, I'm gonna be slapping you over the head. We don't want any of those filler words. I know people say like and you know, we don't expect you to be perfect right away, but do your best to get those filler words out of there. Especially in the case of like Rhodes' example that he just gave, where if you feel like that awkward silence of not knowing the street name, you can say "stand by." That's like a somewhat of a filler word, but it's you know, at least then units know you'll give the street name and once as soon as you get it. Up during the pursuit, it is important that you do update with any weather condition changes, speeds changing, and traffic changing. You don't have to all the time. You don't even have to do it that often. Most of the time, you're just gonna want to do it when one of those things changes. You know, you're driving up LS Freeway, and suddenly you go through and pass some Bolingbrook, and boom, there's a sandstorm. You're gonna want to say that over radio. That way, units behind you know what they're approaching. Or suddenly, if you're going, you know, you're in the city and you're on by the vault is a you're on the vault. You're going up towards the vault, and then suddenly there's a whole bunch of traffic. You're gonna want to announce that. That way, units know, hey, I should probably slow down, otherwise I might just crash into this fuck ton of traffic that's ahead of us. You know.
So can I say like left westbound Howick, heavy traffic now? Careful, or just eliminate the careful?
That's no, that just be be advised heavy traffic. If you crash in any chase, you especially if you're the one doing comms, you do want to announce that. That way, if I hear secondary say, oh, 122 1050 Ocean King, I know subconsciously, hey, I need to take over comms. Especially if it's the go ahead.
What does 1050 Ocean King mean? Okay
1050. What's a 1050?
Yeah, 1050 is accident.
And then Ocean King
means okay.
Yes.
It means you crashed, but you're okay.
Okay.
You're not harmed. You don't need EMS.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
That's what it means. I was wondering why it's like, I just crashed. It's okay. I just crashed. Okay, I get it now. It's okay because I'm alive. All right, I get it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Otherwise, we might hear 1050 and then hear beep 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 13 Bravo. That's basically the basics of pursuits. Pursuits are one of those things that you pick up and you learn and you get better just by doing it. There are a few things about pursuits that you want to keep in mind. The goal of the pursuit is to follow the suspect vehicle with like as little damage to the surrounding area or any pedestrians or other civilians in the area, as well as obviously your vehicles. So what does that mean? That means spacing. You shouldn't be right up, say secondary is following primary. You shouldn't be right up on their ass. You should be giving at least a couple car lengths of space because what happens if you know, not all of us have the reaction time of of like a god, right? If you don't give enough space and suddenly they start braking and you can't react in time, you're gonna just rear end them. And I'm telling you right now, you rear end me in a chase, I will say something to you. Usually good spacing, probably at least 2 car lengths. You have to be mindful of, you know, look, we got a couple of Australians here. They know what I'm talking about. Try to take that into consideration when you're giving spacing to cars in front of you. That includes the suspect car. You don't want to be accidentally hitting them or sending them into a wall or something like that. You want to try to drive in correct lanes as much as possible. You know, you do have lights and sirens on in pursuits. It makes you for the most part not liable for any, and if people are injured or anything like that, but you want to try to stay in correct lanes as much as you can. Make and then yeah, make sure your radio comms are clear, accurate, no filler words. And then pits and pits have to get cleared by, is it still just command or is it highest rank in the pursuit? No.
It's just highest rank in the pursuit.
So in most cases, probably barrack or flop in shift 3. Those are our 2 seniors. Otherwise,
if a
is
senior's
it
not
the-
available, it should just be the primary officer.
Yeah.
Did you talk about like calling off pursuits and stuff like that?
I did touch on that, yes.
Okay.
I think with that
And,
all being said, we're well.
Like tertiary and parallel, kind of like.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, then we're probably solid then.
I think we're ready
We can
to
go on
get
to Rose's
some
point now.
actual practice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So I need everybody in a car. Doesn't matter if you're driver or passenger, and I want you to follow me.
Larry, you're up driving.
You wanna drive first?
I'll be going to bed. Okay.
Heidi, thank you.
Thank you, Heidi.
Have a lovely night.
You as well.
Doesn't matter
Be
which
good, baby. Cadets.
Thank you,
Not really. You can hop in. You can hop in.
Good night. That's what I was.
This is just gonna be temporary.
Where's our car?
We can just hop in with.
Across the street.
Oh.
I can go fairly.
Go hop in one of the cadets' cars right now.
Yeah, we should. Rose will be driving a Taurus, but we can all hop into if you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, Channel 9.
Sorry. All right, I want everybody pretty much around my vehicle on both sides. All right. So, if we're in a pursuit and we're heading westbound on Alhambra, as we're currently facing, right? And you are unfamiliar with street names, as a lot of you will be. There is a bit of a trick in regards to determining the name of the street prior to actually getting there. Which is, right now, if you take a look at your GPS, or your compass rather, again, you'll see we're technically facing southwest, and we are on Alhambra Drive. Does everybody see that?
Confirm.
Okay. If we drive forward, just go around that Sanchez. We can drive forward just a bit to about here. You'll quickly see that a secondary street name shows up, which is Mountain View Drive. If a secondary street name shows up, that means it is your nearest cross. So despite the fact that we have not yet turned onto Mountain View Drive, you can utilize your GPS and compass to determine the street name, again, prior to actually making the turn, and what I would consider a decent distance before. But does everyone see Mountain View Drive listed as the secondary street name?
Yes, sir.
Confirm.
Yes, sir.
So do you see how, without having, known the street name ahead of time, how having this information could be useful with the addition of, right northbound, as you're heading westbound on the street, you saw that they made a right-hand turn. You can already determine that that's northbound, and you don't even have to be at the turn itself to be able to call it the street name. The only sort of caveat is if you are on an overpass or underpass that has a freeway. Streets like Palomino in the city, on Strawberry, Power, when you're underneath Olympic Freeway, it's almost always going to prioritize the freeway. So if you're heading north on Strawberry and suddenly you see that it's, your GPS is telling you you're on Olympic, just know that you're still on Strawberry, okay? It's more so just context clues, I guess. But that's all I have. It is a super, super helpful tip in regards to helping out with comms and determining street names without having much experience. So Barrick, how are we doing the pursuit related stuff?
Essentially, one unit is going to get a chance at primary, and then we'll essentially designate primary, secondary, tertiary, parallel, and we'll go through that for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll swap, and everybody will get a chance in each of the positions.
Hey, firm. So should I just drive?
You drive, and whoever the primary CVPI is, they can take control of things. So we'll say it's Sterling CVPI in this case. Actually, Sterling, do you have an instructor with you?
Emily's with me.
Copy. Let's get one of the CVPIs that have an instructor to take on.
801 will take primary.
Dash 801 activated with a black and color photo of 1 times traveling westbound Alhambra, at northbound Panorama.
Right, eastbound. Oh, dispatch 801 50. Ocean King continuing on eastbound Algonquin Boulevard. Doing a U-turn. Southbound Algonquin Boulevard.
You need 77s?
8th. Requesting 77 students pursuit, please.
34, 826,
Left, southbound Panorama Drive. Left, eastbound Zancudo Avenue.
862 secondary, taking comms. Eastbound Zancudo Avenue. Left westbound Mountain View. Southbound Algonquin. Vehicle's doing a U-turn facing westbound Algonquin Boulevard. Left south Mountain View Drive. Left northbound out Zancudo Road, passing the hospital.
76.
Right westbound Inland Avenue. Right northbound Alhambra Drive.
Slowing down, continuing. Right, west, off-road. Alhambra. Right, east. Algonquin Boulevard, left, west. Mount View Drive. Right, east. Marina Drive. Right, west, Algonquin Boulevard.
Really quick, I'm just going to make a slight correction. When announcing cardinal direction, you want to make sure you put bound. I'll explain later. Just remind me to explain why, because there's a very specific reason. But you can continue.
Left, south, Panorama. Left east, Zancudo Avenue.
Oh no!
Right south, Millen. Right west, Alhambra Giant.
LSPD, give it up.
Right north, Mountain View Giant. Right east, Polo Springs. Left west, Armadillo. Left west, Marina.
This is the LSPD.
Left south, Mountain View Giant. Right west, Zancudo Avenue.
Stop the vehicle.
Left south, Panorama. Right west, into the Matil Park Inn. Now north, left west, Algonquin Boulevard. Right north, on Leslie's Lane. Right east, Marina Drive. Right south, Panorama. Left east, Algonquin. Right south, Mountain View Drive. Left east, Zinkin Avenue. Right south, Wieland Avenue. Left west, Alhambra Drive. Right north, Mountain View Drive. Left west, Algonquin. Left south. Left east, Algonquin. Left east, Marina Drive. Right west, East Josh Drive. Right north, off-road. Left west, Alhambra. North, Mountain View Drive. Right east, Zinc Avenue. Left north, Yolanda Avenue. Left west, Marina Giant.
It's the LSPD, give it up.
Left south, Mountain View Giant. Left east, Polo Springs. Right south, Armadillo Avenue.
Solid.
Right west, Algonquin. Right north, Mountain View Drive. Right east, Polo Springs. Left north, Armadillo.
All right. Primary's gonna drop back. Secondary's gonna jump up into primary, and we're gonna swap comm duty.
462 vehicles back mobile eastbound Marina Drive.
Dispatch 857, southbound Marina Drive. Right, westbound Algonquin Boulevard. Right, northbound Armadillo Avenue. Followed by left, southbound Cholla Springs Avenue. Left, southbound Mountain View Drive. Right, Algonquin Boulevard, westbound. Left, southbound Lolita Avenue. Left, eastbound Panorama Drive. Right, Mountain View Drive, southbound, followed by a right, Alhambra Drive, westbound. U-turn, eastbound Panorama Drive. Left, Mountain View Drive, northbound.
1
Trying to juke left westbound Algonquin
audio
Boulevard. Right, Panorama Drive northbound. Left, Cholla Springs Avenue southbound. Correction, Marina Drive. Left, Moringa Lane southbound. Left, Algonquin Boulevard eastbound.
Remember, turn cardinal direction, street name. We're gonna have to call off this pursuit.
I can't see.
862 terminating pursuit due to conditions. Vehicle was last seen eastbound Alhambra.
There's gonna be no way we can continue. Not in Sandy.
Wait, was I doing street name the second? The second?
You were doing cardinal direction at the end. You're doing right, Alhambra, and then yeah, westbound or whatever.
Okay, yep, okay. Thank you.
What were you talking about before? You said to remind you for?
Oh, so when you're giving cardinal direction, you want to you want to put bound. So eastbound, westbound, northbound, southbound. And the reason is because we have street names down in the city like Boulevard del Perro, and then we have South Boulevard del Perro. And if you don't put bound, if you say right, you know, I mean, even though they run west to east, if you don't put bound, there could be confusion between officers perceiving that.
If it's not, then
Right.
You know, right, southbound, South Boulevard del Perro makes it clear it's southbound and South Boulevard del Perro. Where you go right, South Boulevard del Perro, someone could perceive that as southbound on Boulevard del Perro versus, I think I just said that backwards, but you get what I mean, right?
Absolutely.
Wow.
There's a few, yeah, there's Rockford, North Rockford, and the crazy part is Rockford and North Rockford are two very different. Like Rockford Drive is the west side of the old courthouse off of Carcer Way, right?
Yeah.
Let me just verify.
I definitely think there is a Rockford.
Rockford's, yeah.
Yeah, Rockford Drive is off of Eastbourne Way, exactly where that call just came up. Right, but then the actual like South Rockford, North Rockford is far to the west of that. So if you were to go right, north Rockford Drive, right, like that is saying something completely different.
Right.
10-9.
It's
Yeah, but
clear
if
and
you're going-
Grapeseed once you get a little bit deeper towards like the airfield.
A-firm, do we want to yeah, we can go.
I mean,
we go Grapeseed. Are we
I
clear
think
to bear?
Grapeseed would be better because Polito, as we know, very much has occupants or
Yeah, you're not wrong.
let's go to the airfield and I'll leave this Taurus there.
10-4. Does somebody else want to drive and I'll jump into one of the cars?
yeah, I'll drive.
A-firm. Eric, whose car were you in?
I was in Frost's car.
All right. Frost, which vehicle you in?
Right here. Road's
All right.
the first one.
Oh, okay. It's okay.
All right, who do I have in here? Is this Crikey?
Crikey. The
Crikey,
Australian
Jimmy.
car.
We might
You
need
call
another
this a
door
knife?
though. That's not.
You don't
knife.
need the door, man. You
Yeah,
just get
that's all
better
I
aeration.
This is a
Yeah.
knife.
Ease of
This is a
access.
knife.
Which
You
one
know?
you, which car didn't have a FTO in it with the with an instructor during the?
Oh, you know what? I should probably go on that one actually. Who didn't have an FTO in their car?
Sterling and Emily.
All right.
Sterling and Emily. I'm
Okay,
pretty
so
sure.
hop in that one. I think that's this car.
Oh, okay.
Rhodes.
Oh, thank you, Emily. You're too kind.
All right, David, hop on in.
Emily, you driving this time? Was that your?
Oh, something important to note.
Thank you.
The CVPI to my left, who's in it? Who's in?
These doors are jammed.
Judas and Theo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Theo, you don't have your turn signal on, do you?
Do I?
It is on.
So here's the thing.
It is on.
I can be petty, but I have not and will not issue anyone citations for failure to signal, because there has been an issue for quite some time where an individual can turn the turn signal on, but they cannot turn it off. So the driver believes that they've turned it off, but everybody still sees that turn signal flashing on and off. So just keep that in mind. Essentially what I'm saying is, you see somebody with a turn signal on, or like not utilizing one, don't pull them over for it. It unfortunately is something out of anyone's control.
10-4.
10-4.
You step off for a second, Rhodes. I think these doors are jammed.
Oh, sorry.
All good.
My bad.
Thank
You Gucci.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, overall, Emily, your comms were solid with the exception of just adding bound to the cardinal direction. You're good.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. You definitely got into a solid rhythm. Who's taking primary this time? We're gonna continue where we left off.
Yeah,
last time it was Frost and
it's
Crikey, so it should be somebody else this time.
David and I.
Hey, Larry and I are gonna grab it.
Wait, were you primary or were you secondary?
We were tertiary the whole time. Yeah.
Tertiary and
Okay,
parallel.
tertiary and parallel. Okay, so you can take primary or you can take secondary. It's up to you. So you can take primary for now. You'll get secondary at some point.
The comms
wanna
is
take primary?
secondary, right?
Correct.
All right, so whatever, man. But you want to start driving right away?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
All right,
All right.
go ahead and go take primary, and then we'll have a switch.
Well,
out.
actually, you guys, as primary, you can maintain comms because you have a passenger.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'll do comms.
All right, Barrick, you should be good.
And then
Can
for
we
us,
back
I'll
into
do our
parallel?
comms.
Well,
Exactly same 80 going southbound.
We'll run parallel, just because
Okay.
they've had their chase already.
857.
Dispatch 857.
So I don't want to derail the radio comms or anything, but
Westbound Seaview Road.
Emily, you towards the tail end of the pursuit, you got into like a solid rhythm of, turn cardinal direction street name, turn cardinal direction street name, like back to back to back. I was even intentionally taking turns quite quickly.
I had a
I'm just chatting with
feeling
him.
you
Give
were
me a second.
not.
Repeat that. Sorry, radio was loud.
Oh no, you're fine. I had a feeling you were doing that on purpose.
Yep. It's pretty much just to
86276.
Again, for me, it's you should be able to get turn in cardinal direction before ever knowing the street name, and that info is super important. So as long as you add bound to the end, you're solid in terms of comms.
I appreciate it.